Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me back. Today I thought I'd do something that was requested a long time ago. I used to do a lot of flowers and I decided flowers are not hard to do. They're very simple. They're very beautiful on your layout papers, on your cards, and there's so many variety of ways of doing it without breaking the bank, without investing in a lot of things. And usually everything, if you're a crafter, a lot of the things you have will help you to make beautiful flowers. So let's get started. One of the flowers I started to do a long time ago, I got this punch right here. My punches are very well loved. Um, very old, but they're so sturdy. These are EK Success, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, EK Success punches. And basically, one punch was a very good investment for me because out of this, I did a lot of flowers. Then with time, I started to invest in these, and these, and all these other little ones right here. All of these are so good to start out to do flowers. Even this little dollar one to do the inside, like if it was the stamen of the flower. Awesome. Like, how cool. A dollar punch. So let me just show you how I did it. So I already cut out some of them, and this is also other ones that you can use also to make your flowers. These are a little bit more intricate, has a little bit of everything with it. But if you're basically just starting out, these, I don't remember the price range when I brought them, but you can go on scrapbook.com, Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby. Almost every craft store has them. I've even seen them in Walmart. So you'll find these everywhere. And depending on how big you want your flower is how many of them you're going to get. Quite really, this one is a really good investment in this one. And this is just more if you're going to do little detailed things, if you're doing cards or ATGs. Okay, so let me get started because I love rambling. So I took just basic piece of cardstock, white cardstock. You can use different color cardstock, so you don't have to, depending on what color your layout is or what color scheme you're going with. It can be white, it can be pink, it can be, this one I really like a lot. It's this beige color. It is so good to do a lot of flowers with. I try to stick to white and then just ink them, spray them, mist them, beat and batter them. But this one, this color usually is a good trick. If you can find on sale, sometimes Michael's, Joann's has coupons, 40% off, 50% off. Try to get a stack of these beige papers, and they're so, the neutralness of it, if it's a word, makes you go into a whole range of layout color schemes. You can do your warms, your neutrals. It's just so good. But again, tried and true, go with white. And this is just basic cardstock. I forgot the thickness of it, but just basic cardstock, nothing too heavy. Now also remember, if you're gonna do a complicated flower where you're gonna ink it, mist it, emboss it, try to get a thicker cardstock just so your flower can weather the beat. Let me get this here. So basically, any color cardstock would do, depending on the thickness is, depending on what you're going to do to flower is what the thickness you want the cardstock to be. So here I have already cut out some flowers. This is this punch right here. And one trick I do is, right now, you can use this or these. I think you've seen them in different craft stores. And if you see right here, you'll see the cut it gives. And this is just a normal hole punch. These, you can find them in bundles, you can find them in singles. I've seen them for $1.50 singles, and bundles almost $10 for I don't know how many. And this at your dollar store, $1. More simple than that. Cool. Can't get more simple, more cheap. So here, what I do is, there's a flower called dogwood. You can look it up. It's a very pretty flower. I don't know how many petals it has, but I remember seeing that it has like a little dent on each end of the petal. And I said, oh, that's cool. So I just did this. Take your hole punch, halfway in, a little bit more in, not all the way in where it circles, no, halfway in, like this. And again, just follow it all the way around. Don't do the hole punch in here where you're gonna do it completely in the middle of the flower. No, you're just gonna do the corner right here and all the way around. And if you've never seen the flower and you don't Google it, it just gives you a pretty effect. Please excuse my my mat. It was also very well loved all the way around. So here you have your flower. So what you can do is just start inking. Inking, I've seen, just gives so much pop to a flower punch that it's amazing. Let me just show you. Now I have here these inks. They are very, very old. I got them in a store in Puerto Rico. Love them. They're falling apart, but they're while they ink, they're good. So these are what are they? Dewdrops, and they have they're chalk inks. They're so good, and the way the felt is on the pad, like the texture of the pad. I don't know if it's this way or this way. Anyway, it's a way where when you pat it and you drag it, it forms little lines. Let me see if I can show you here. Of course, I wouldn't have a scrap handy. So here, you tap it and you drag it. And then, I don't know if you can see those little lines right there. You tap and drag. Tap lightly and drag. Tap lightly and drag. And you'll see, you'll get these little sort of lines. Those lines look very much like the lines in the middle of flowers. So you can use your ink pad to your advantage. As you can see, it's already falling apart. They're old. These ink pads are old, but they're so... While you ink, I'm not throwing you away. Okay, so here you can use this one. I also have these that I brought at, what do you call it? I brought at Michael's. They're sometimes in the little bins where there's $1, $2, and also some like this, which are good for that, but don't have that. It's not as easy to do it, but you can still do it if you're gonna tap like directly on it like that. This one's just comfortable because it's pointed, but either or. So here, there's two ways. You can use your, here, and ink the edges. Just ink the edges and just tap and move, tap and move, tap and move, tap and move, tap and move. And look at how simple. You already have that done like that. And if you want, you can get into the edges. And don't worry about doing any mistakes, any errors. Flowers aren't perfect. They have different tones, different varieties, even within their own categories. And once you do that, just wait for it to dry so you won't transfer. The thing about chalk inks that they're very, very wet. So let me just try to dry this up here for a minute. And they are so easy to make. They're so easy to do. Get this here. Let me just dry it up really quick for you here. Let me get my, okay, where is it? Okay. And then just dry it up as best as you can. And done. So here is already one, still a little wet, doesn't matter. And you can do like a little bit of a 3D effect. Just put it upside down. Take some kind of roller. You can use this. You can use the back of a brush. Doesn't really matter. A pencil, an eraser, and just lightly, a little bit of pressure, not too much. Just make little circles right in the middle and work your way out. So you're basically doing this. And then this. And this, and then turn it over, and you're gonna do a couple of little small tighter circles in the middle, and that would just give you like a little 3D effect on your flower. For example, see? Something like this. You want to go more intricate. Let's get this here. And what complementary color can we give it? Shall we do this? Let me see. This one. This one. This one's not that battered. And something here in the middle. 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 White where the circle is. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold it, take the corner of the pad and just swipe it. Swipe it. Swipe it. Swipe it. And swipe. Look at that. The pad did it on its own. And you can layer them. So you can do another one. Let's do it really quick. Another one. Cut. 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 You have it here. They're a little bit more in, more out. Remember, aren't perfect. Get this here. Which one was it? Ink, ink, ink. Ink, ink, ink. Like that. Well, turn it over. Pressure, 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 because what you want to give is just like a little relief. Like make it pop out. Like that. Still wet. Let me get this here. For interest of time, I'm just going to, there we go. And the middle, again, don't worry. This is a perfect example of what would be a mistake. Work with it. Take here and do this again. So we are going to just swipe, 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 and swipe. Literally, they're falling apart, but they're still have ink, so I will still love you. And you are going to put it like this. And then stack them. And stagger. Stagger. So you're not going to put them one on top of the other like this, because then you can't see there's another one under unless you lift it. You're going to stagger it, which means counterclockwise each one. And this is a flower you have right here. Simple, easy, not complicated. For the center, just glue it. Let me see, get my glue gun here. Take some glue. And remember to put it in a staggered position. And you're done. And for the center, you can take another small flower, put it in the middle, or take a brad and put it in the middle. Here, take a piece of foam, take an X-Acto knife. Let me see where mine is. Of course, I would not have it handy. Any little X-Acto knife, make a slit for the brad. Depending on your project, how you want your brad to be. Cut it, lift, cover your X-Acto knife, and just take your brad and put it in the middle. There you go. There. Open it up, and depending on your project, you can open it up now or put it in between your projects so it'll be more secure. And this is your flower. Simple, not complicated. Any ink pad would do. Here's one. Another trick also with punches I have, and with this one, just do your standard flower, but we're going to do more layers. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same way we did the first one. Again, it doesn't have to be, could be the end of a brush. I just happen to have this tool. This is from McGill. It's flower set. It comes like this. But of course you can get, well, this doesn't come with it. It's just to open it up. But, and this is just to have it roll to give you that 3D effect. But again, you can have the same effect with a brush. Doesn't matter. I just want a little extra. So here, what you can do is take your flowers and you can ink them up. Mist them, sorry. Let me get this here. This is just a little bit of Perfect Pearls with some water. And it's about whole bottle full of water. And I'd say like maybe 2 little pea-sized scoops of Perfect Pearls. Like, for example, I just took like the end of something and then just scooped it, 1 in the bottle, scooped like 2, 3 scoops, and that's it. Now this is so the powder will mix quicker instead of you just swishing it around and waiting for it to mix. I actually added, there's various ways. I have a tutorial on it, how to make glimmer mist out of acrylic paints. This is Perfect Pearls, but you can't make them out of acrylic paint. You can watch my video. I'll put a tag somewhere in this video so you can click on it and go straight. I put in here, you can do either fishing weights or beads. If you're into beading, take 3 little glass beads, pea size. Make sure they're big enough that they won't go through the little nozzle thing, and put them inside, and that will help you shake up your powders, your acrylic, or whatever you put in to do your little homemade DIY glimmer mist. These are just fishing weights. You can find them in Walmart for, wow, this was a long time ago. That's how much it's lasted. I think they were $2 for maybe 7 or 10 little metal weights, what you use on the fishing line. Super cheap, super good. Like nail polish, that you have those little balls on the bottom so you can shake it up. Same concept, super good. Okay, so just spray, got to keep them together. Spray, look at how pretty. I don't know if the camera picks up on that. We'll spray here. And then we're just going to dry them up. Get this here. And then we're going to ink the edges just to give them a little dimension. And I'll tell you more about that later on. I'll show you what I mean with that. Hope you guys can hear me over the not so quiet heat embossing tool. Now here, and I don't know if you can see the sheen on it. Get the other ones before they fly away. Okay, so you get the idea. For the interest of time, I'm just going to pat them dry because they're not completely dry, but you get the essential idea. Let's pat them dry. Okay, so here, same concept we did. Take them, and the side that has the design, the sheen or the design, is the side you want to put upside down. So the side you want to be the front. That's what you're going to put upside down. And you're just going to break up the paper fiber in small little circles. Small little circles, small little circles. And that's to make it puffy on the other side. So you're basically concurving it. And just a circle here. One, done. Same thing for the other one. Curve, 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 curve. Break up that paper fiber so it will stay that way. Like this. And we are going to make a very pretty 3D flower. The more you stack it, the more fluffier it would be. Oh, can you see that shine? So pretty. And then here, the same thing we're gonna do here. And the middle. And the last one. Here, 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 and here. The middle. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to ink the edges of our little petals. So we're going to take here, I love the Tim Holtz Distress Oxides. I love their normal Distress inks, but the Distress Oxides, I just have this one. I'm going to get more, but this one sold me. I'm hooked, line, and sinker. Very, very good. So you're just going to take, I just have a normal little thingamajig that I got from the craft stores because I didn't have the dabbers that they have for it. So you're just going to take it and you're just going to ink the edges. And try to start in the edge and work your way up and pull. So let me do the other one. So ink the edge and then work your way in and pull. So like this. You're going to go like this. You're going to ink and pull, ink and pull, ink and pull. And see the texture that the sponge has. And try to use whatever texture you're using, be it a dab or whatever, and just ink those edges up like that. And look at how pretty. Oh, it's already giving that antique sort of look. And do the same for each edge. Remember, you can just do the edge like this, or you can go around. Around makes it more real, sort of to say, a little bit more detail, but again, however you'd like to do it. That's why I love using brown, white or beige cardstock, because it just, you can alter it as you wish. Now see, when you go a little too hard, like I did, when you put ink on the paper, those lines will show, but use it to your advantage. Maybe this leaf was old. Maybe this leaf just wasn't having it that day. Just make it work for you. So just hold it, the leaf here, because if you don't hold it under, it's just going to bend and ink. And the more you've done it, see, this one's a little inked up from something. Don't matter, work with it, put it under the other petal. And now what we're going to do when we finish is stagger. And again, they don't have to be perfect. You don't have to make them all equal. Flowers are different in nature, so will yours. See what I say about when you press too hard with this on the other side? It makes those lines. Work with it. Use it. The flower has veins. There we go. So it's done. Look at these, look at how antique it looks already. And then with that gold in the middle, oh, just beautiful. And again, I decided to mist it before. You can mist it after it's done, however you like to do it. I just wanted the brown to pop and have the gold sheen be secondary to the edging. So let's take this here. We are just going to take our glue gun and take the darkest one. They're all different. Take the darkest one and there. And again, you're going to stagger. And there. Take the other one. Little dot. Try not to burn yourself like my finger's doing. Ow. Ow, ow. And then here, the other one. piece of glue. It could be a hot glue gun, could be any glue you have, and always stagger. Each layer is staggered. And then hold it for a minute. It's hot glue, so it should be good. And then this one, we're going to do a little something different. We're going to take it, take your scissors here, and we're going to cut off one of the petals. So this is your center. You're going to do like a little triangle. You're going to cut, and you're going to cut like if you're like a piece of pie. Cut, and pull out. And here, then you're just going to take these two like this, like if it was a butterfly. So it looks like a butterfly. You're going to hold it, and you're going to put these two together like this. So you're basically putting together these two petals. So it'll drop, hold it, done. And you should be left with a little cup. So again, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take it. Let me see if I can draw it here for you. You're going to do like a little triangle, and you're going to cut this out. Hope that was better. So you're just going to cut, remove, hold on to this. You may use it later. Never throw anything out. And you're going to have like a butterfly. And you're going to hold it by the part that you cut, and you're going to put it together like this. So you're going to like go like this to it. So one is covering the other. And you're going to go like this. And once you have that motion, once you have it like already bent, then glue it. And there you go. So basically, you have a 3D version of a small little 3-petal flower. And this is what you're going to do for the center. So here, you're going to take the one that's here, put some glue here, and right there in the middle. And if it's too big, don't worry about it. Take the glue off. And if it's too pointy, just cut off the middle. And more glue. And put it right there. And see, now it lays a little more flatter. Wait till it dries and then puff up your flower. So let's put this back here. Here. And you are going to, your flower basically looks flat. So what you're going to do now is you're going to start puffing it up. So it's lifting and pushing up, lifting and pushing up. Like if you're fluffing the flower, lifting and pushing up. And there you go. Each little petal, just lift and push up, lift and push up. Lift and push up. And you're finished with, take each petal. And if you have, also another trick is if you have a small little, how can I call it, like stick, you can take it and hold it and turn it. And turn it like that. And that'll give you even the edges even more of a definition. Let me show you. Like if you were doing this, you hold it, put it, and hold it and curl it. Again, hold it and curl it. Hold it and curl it. So this is what basically you're trying to do with that. And you just do that. And with the center one, try to do it even more. Curl it even more. Curl it even more. Make sure that this one, the one in the middle, is the most curled. There we go. And there you go. Pretty little 3D rose flower. And I can keep going, curling it more and more, but you get the idea. For the center, you can put a brad. You can put sticky back gem pearls. You can put some liquid pearls in the middle. Some flat back pearls like this one here. There's so many things you can put in the middle. You can, you can put another little flower in the middle. Or that $1 paper punch, the stamen, you can also put in the middle. Here right now, I'm going to put a flat back gem. So for this one, let's see here. For this one here, what size, what size? Let's do a big one. Go big or go home, right guys? Okay. Take it out. And right there. Of course it would move, because why would it stay still? Yes, why would you be still? There. Look how pretty. I think I could have gone smaller, but let me see. Yeah, you were not stuck in there, were you? There we go. Look at how pretty. Again, if you still have some strands of the heat of the hot glue, just with your blower, heat it up a little and they'll melt away. And that is flower number 2. Another thing, also, you can do this. There's another punch, my other very well loved punch here. Cut out 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make it 4. Haven't done this one in a while, so I'm not sure. You are going to take it and you are going to put it in the middle, put them all in the middle, and you're going to make a hole. Again, use your X-Acto knife, my $1 store X-Acto knife, and try to find the middle and puncture. Gonna be a little hard because it's a little thick, but you get the idea. And take your brad, put it in, like this, and you are going to wet this. You are going to which one should I use? Which one should I use? Let's use this one here. I'm gonna wet this in a little box and I'll show you now. Let me spray this, get it completely wet. Okay, so it's wet. You're going to scrunch it up, scrunch it up, scrunch it up, like that. Make it into a little knot, like that, and you are going to heat it up. So here it is. Try not to burn yourself with the brad like I just did, and open up your flower. Now try to keep the middle ones as tight as possible, and then just open up the other ones. And look at this. Look at how pretty. So pretty. If you want, you can leave it like this, or again, you can dry it, wet it, scrunch it again, and then dry it. What you're doing is you're basically wetting it and wrinkling it up to break up the paper fiber. And when you dry it, the water is for when you dry it, it stays with the form of how you scrunched it. So the water basically is almost like I don't want to say a glue, like a molding paste, that when it dries, it stays in that form, but it's water, so it will be movable. And look at how pretty. And again, the more layers you do, the more fluffier it would be. You can leave it like this, or flying cap, ink it. Don't be shy. Dab it, tap it on. Just tap it on to give it a little subtle carnation kind of effect. Or you can go a little bolder and then just try to ink up the edges. But then you have to be careful that you just don't ink it up too much and break off the style of it. See, and then just do this. And again, if you have spray mist, just spray it and dry it. Another flower. The more you do it, the more layers, the more fluffier. And again, it doesn't have to have the brad. You can just do it by itself with glue, or just basically do this. Let me just show you here. Where is my, take this here. You can do it the way I did it, or like I've seen it been done in before. Oh, I didn't add the little, see what happens when you don't add the beads or the weights? It like stays stuck there and you have to be, tap, 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 tap. Yeah, forgot on this one. Wet it, and scrumble it up. Take another one, wet it, take the water that's already there, wet it, and scrumble it up. If it's still dry, just wet it up, scrunch it up, and again, just my little homemade mist, glimmer mist. And like that, pick up the water, clean any excess off from your hands so you don't transfer, and just dry. This is an old technique. Of course, none of these techniques are mine. They're just years of me watching others. Looks like popcorn. When this one opens up, just squish it again. Squish them. Okay, you get the general idea. They're still a little wet, but this one's still a little wet, and this one's a little better. See how they open up like this? And then you just open it up very carefully, because remember, if you squish them really hard, because the paper's thick, right there. And then let me just dry this one off. This one, there's always a rebel. You open it up, and you can also now, if you want to give it more of a color, take it and dab, 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 dab. There you go. There. Done. And take your heat tool in the middle, middle. In the middle. Without burning yourself. Ow. And another way of doing a little antique kind of a flower. See the difference? Almost the same technique, but in a different style. So you don't need the brad, you can just do it as is. And remember, you don't need the hot glue gun. Next, simple one. You have your cutout. Take this here. You have your cutout, and you're going to take a stamp. Now there's little stamps like this. You can find them in your local craft stores. Sometimes I've seen them in Walmart, definitely Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, craft stores, and you're gonna stamp on them. Or you can use any stamp. Sometimes there's little medallions like this that would definitely look beautiful on that. Or you can use a big stamp like this and then just ink it, put it on, take it off, and you have a really nice effect without having to ink it unless you want to. Right now we are going to use this one on here. So basically it fits the size. So let's get this out. My stamps are sold. Sometimes I pull them apart and one day I fear I'm just gonna rip them apart. Of course I would. And again, it doesn't have to be expensive stamps. These were literally $1 on sale. And they would make cute little centers for them. We're gonna do both. So let me get this here. Get your ink right here, there. And let's use a nice, pretty color. Let's see. Would I like to use blues? Flowers are not blue. Let's use this color here. Again, don't have to go expensive. If you have more expensive inks, go for it. If not, don't have to. Ink up your stamp. Doesn't have to take it perfect. Just has to be inked up. Oh, my stamps are so old. And try to center it as best as you can. Again, does not have to be perfect. And there, you're committed. Press as hard as you can, not too much. You don't want to distort the little fine details. And lift. Look at that. Can you see that? And again, it does not matter if it took more on one side than the other. It's just a flower. And we're going to do this. Heat it up to dry it. Just tap off any excess. There we go. Okay, now you can leave it as like that, and put a little brad in the middle. You can put a little flat back pearl. Let's do like this. Let's do one like that. Are you all glued together? Yes, you are. There we go. And take some glue. Take the pearl. And there you go. And you can leave it as that, or if you want, you can keep inking it. Let's get something a little darker, get a more darker color, and ink up the edges. Look at how pretty. Simple, delicate, nothing too fancy. If you want to go, oops. strings of hot glue gun everywhere. If you want to go a little fancier, take best investment, get yourself a pair of small little scissors that have a sharp, nice point to it. If not, use an X-Acto knife. Wherever there's a curve, make a cut. And just cut. Don't cut all the way down, just like halfway in. So for example, see, on this other side you can see it, you're making little petals. And if you don't want to leave it like a little medallion, that you actually want to use it as more of a flower style, just do this. And you can also go and do this and puff it out, and it'll make each one of them stand out. Or you can just take the ink and try to get ink a little bit the inside of it. See, like this, and just ink the inside of it. And that'll just give a little more dimension in between each of them. And that will give it a more flower feel. Ink up the inside of the petal, so to say. And it'll give it more dimension. It'll give it more of a flower feel. And then just do the same thing on the other side. And if you want, my pouring pot. And then if you want, then just play with them, puff them out, curve them, do like we did with the other ones. You can, with the other flower, take something really thin and just curve them. Each one like this, and look at how pretty. You can layer them like we did with this here, with this one. You can also do it with this. Don't put the pearl, just do each one of them like that. That will look gorgeous. And look how pretty. Simple, easy, nothing too complicated. Let's do one with this one here. Take this one here. Let's use, which one are we going to use now? Which one are we going to use? Think. Which one? This one. And again, it does not have to be round. It can be square. Take this here, clean it off as best as we can. I'll clean it off better off camera later. And put it on here. And let's do a little antique style. Let's take some of this ink it best as we can. And you're going to go try to center it as best as you can. And there, you're committed. Close this up. My beautiful little ink. I need more of you. Heard Tim Holtz came out with more. Yes. And lift. There we go. Again, didn't come out centered. Does not matter. Now take a darker ink. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is my dabber? Take this one and ink the edges. And again, you can go more precise and do it more in the center. I was trying to focus on it without looking at it, but obviously it didn't work out. But you get the general idea. And here we go. Like this. Let me see if I can do one more centered. I am just so anal about things. Let me get it here. Okay, I think I got it this time. Sorry if my head was in the way. I cannot see. My camera's high up in the sky. Well, a little bit. Look how pretty. Oh, I think I gotta do a layout with this. Or at least cards. I'm into cards now. Where do I have my ink pad? Right in front of me. Okay, and that's with this one. You can also go with let's see, where is you can do with that with where is it? You can do it with brown. You can also do it with a black. Let me get this here. Please forgive my professional dabbers. And do it with black and give it a whole another feel. Look at how different it'll look. And again, out. So you'll give it that sort of like veiny feel of the flowers. I know that's so technical, I'm sorry, but I hope you know what I mean. Those lines, those little drag lines. And there it goes. Look at how pretty. Almost those Aztec, like Santa Fe tile-like. Imagine a couple of those flowers. You can put again a brad, a flat back pearl, some liquid pearls, gems, you name it, or just leave as is and just put it scattered all around your layout. So you can use stamps for the center of your flowers if you don't want to make them 3D. And that just gives it a whole new dimension. What else? What else? Oh, these are here. And also another one is take your flower. You've seen these scissors, like I said. You're going to take it and take and cut, not all the way in, like a quarter of the way in, and there you have a flower. And if you do a couple of them, doesn't have to be exact, can be different. If you want, move your scissors every time you do it so it'll look different. Another one. Do another one. Another one. You do it here, then do it here, then do it here. There you go. And again, ink them and layer them. Let's get another ink color here. Let's get blue. Nature, they're not blue, they're blue here. And what we can do is bend them down a little and try to take it from the center out. So I'm basically holding it at an angle. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm not holding it this way, I'm holding it this way. So it's not like, it's not this, it's more like this, slanted in towards the flower. So the concentration of the color will be in the middle. There you go. And just play around with your ink pads, really. You don't have to, how did I know about all this? This was just trial and error, trying to find different ways of making flowers look almost real. And look at that gradient effect. The more you do it, the more you get a feel of how you like it, what you don't like. And there, 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 there. And again, and if one came out a little wonky, well, that's the bottom one. So here. And you don't always have to give them like a sort of 3D effect. You can just layer them one on top of the other. That's all. And just fluff it up if you want. Or just leave as is. Look at how pretty. Again, you center, you can put with whatever you want. Look at in between, how you see all the colors. How you lift it up like that. Ah, there. That's another one. So you can play with the scissors. If you have scissors, you can do different styles with the petals also. This is just another, look at how different each one is. Same punch. Same punch. Awesome. And look at this one. Same punch. Okay, here, here, here. What else, what else, what else? This punch here, I just like it because it is a flower punch. It's like a daisy punch. But I like it because you can use it also for, let's say if this was green. Let me just do a little green on it. Is this yellow or green? Gold. Gold leaves. Do this. See how it is, how just make the pad work for you. This here, like this, and like this. Of course, my pad is falling apart, but ink pad, but you get the idea. Get this here, and you can put it under your flower depending on how small it is. So if it's this kind of flower, you can use it as the leaves. Look at how pretty. Put it to the side so it can just show, and there you go. But if you also wanted to use it as a flower, let me show you here. This one I feel has to be layered just because it's like really thin. Look at how pretty. This one, we're going to do a little yellow in the middle. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Hold it. Same principle. Yellow, 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 and yellow. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want the center to be yellow. Sometimes I feel if we try to go too exact, we wind up ruining things. And if your cardstock has texture, work with it. And one more. There. Nothing complicated, nothing too wanky or wonky. You're going to take it now, and this is a trick to do. You're going to take it and little dots. Just do little dots. Don't go straight into the middle, just on each petal towards the yellow. So we're not going all the way down from the center up, just towards where that yellow is. So we're just basically going to do little dots where the yellow is. Try to make them big dots, small dots, little dots. Make them look very, very random. And there. How pretty it even looks with the green in the background. Beautiful. Okay. Da-da-da. And again, there's so many variations. You can also take and do like little, if you have a thin marker, do little black lines coming from the middle. I mean, you can do so many things. And again, you can leave as is, leave it like that. You can also take the green that we did and stagger it on the bottom and make a whole new flower like that from just one punch, or just layer it. And these you don't have to layer too much, you can do two at a bunch. There. Try to leave the center clear and layer. And let's take this green from here and let's put it here. There we go. Look at how pretty. All from one punch, which is, lost you. Here you are. Here. So, and we get this. And again, this is just a variation. You can do it. You can do this with the design at the edge, or you can do it in the middle. All depends on how you want to do. See how different it is when you do it in the center as opposed as when you do it in the edges. See the difference? So this is here, here, here. And last but not least, I hope you have been supporting my rambling for so long. I thank you for that. You can take printed 12 by 12 papers or just your normal craft paper, no, not craft paper, but printed paper, any paper, and just cut out a flower. We just do another one here. I always cut it upside down. I mean, I want to see what I'm punching out. And just distress it. For sake of time, I'll get this out. And just ink the edges. Like this, you don't even have to worry about doing anything to the middle. Just take it and roll with it. There you go. So you use the texture and the pattern, better said, of your cards, of your paper stash to do flowers. This one is just an example of how you can use the pattern for your own way of being, and then just centralize it and cut it out like this here. If it was bigger, something like that. If you have a smaller one, make little flowers out of these. Cut, 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 and you use a design to make flowers. And this is a good way to also make sure you color coordinate with your paper. If you're doing a card, a 12 by 12, just anything you're doing, you can use it to combine to color coordinate everything, because you're using the paper from what you're doing already, from your project already. And again, there are smaller ones. You can take these little tiny ones like this one and then just ink it up with something. Let's see here. This here, just ink it up really good, and you can put it in the center of something. Let's say here, that one, or you can take another ink pad. These are the smaller ones. This is from this one. You can make small little flowers like these with that, and they look so beautiful on cards and small things. Or you can just take it and do something darker like this. Just ink it up, ink it up, ink it up. And if it's dark enough, take it out and then put it here in the middle, and look at how pretty. So you don't always have to use gems or brads. Just glue it up and use a small little punch to do that center thing. And also, this video is so long, please don't hate me. You can take also embossed paper and you can cut out and make flowers this way. For example, let me do it really quick. The video is so long. Cut it. Cut it out. You have it here. You are going to take your, let's see, what color do I want? Let's do, while I decide, oh, you know what? Let's do this here. It has little raised textures. It's embossed paper. Just do that like that. And how cute does this look for a little girl's layout, or for a card for a little girl's baby shower? Look at how pretty. And that's all you did. That's all you did, from a blank piece of paper to this. So you can also emboss. Try to use fine embossed folders so you can get the most real estate out of your punch. Because if you do it, the bigger you do it, the more abstract it's gonna look. So do it like that. Let's go here, for example. This one here has one in the middle. Let's see if I can get it with which punch. Which punch? Let's see. let's use this one here. Look how pretty. Almost looks like a doily. Look at how cute that is. And again, just paint it up. Mist it. Do some glimmer on it. Let me see, what color can I use here? Look at this one here. If you're careful, just ink up the raised parts of the embossed. And look at how cute that is. And then you can come back and then just ink up the edges. And look at this. It could be a flower, it could be the bottom of another flower. It could be so many things. Like this could be this, and then you can put this on top. Look at how cute that layer, because so you can stack them, you can layer them. There's no rhyme or reason. Look at this. And here, look if you did this. And then the little pearl in the middle. So there's so many ways you can do things. And again, if you don't have, if you don't have these punches, I can make a tutorial on how to do the same thing by just using scissors and papers. You don't need to have all these fancy punches. But again, if you do, there's also some Cricut machines. I hope there's people that I know that have their Cricut that are watching. You can do all these flowers from your Cricut, from dies. Just like, it's just your creativity, your imagination. I hope you liked this. I hope you understood everything I did. I love doing flowers, homemade flowers. Just gives that project a little more personal touch. Again, nothing against buying, but if you can make them, it's worth it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry this video was so long. If you like it, please hit the like. And if you want to subscribe so I can know I'm on the right direction to do more content. Please watch my other videos. I'm going to put right in the screen where you can just tap and it'll take you to how to make my homemade glimmer mists. Really old video, but tried and true. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, hit that bell, and many, many blessings. Thank you. Bye.